What's up, guys? Welcome to another exciting edition of Real Estate Podcast, episode 397. I'm here with Griffin.
I'm here with Trav.
And we're humping and pumping with Adam.
We're ready to pump you up.
You up. Yeah.
This week we watched Magazine Dreams.
I mean, where do you start?
He really did play like when the guy was like, he's an incel. The YouTube comments,
Yes.
I was like, he is kind of an incel.
Yeah.
I'm going to be very famous one day. I'm going to be on a magazine. And that chick was like, I'm going to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, right. I saw that coming from a mile
No,
away.
here's what I
like,
saw
"Ah."
coming. When that dude said, you can touch him,
Oh, yeah.
I was like, don't touch him.
Yeah, right.
Don't touch him.
It got sexy
Yeah.
for a second.
And then he fucking touched him.
Dude,
Yeah.
when he left there, he spit.
Oh, yeah.
He was like,
Yeah.
I'm like, no,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
are my biggest fan, right?
Yeah. Something.
Yeah, I think they were in Los
All right,
Angeles.
but you won't call me.
They had the
Maybe. I don't
tall
know.
palm trees.
Yeah.
I think that's the only place they
When it-
have those. He just,
when it-
Pawpaw threw me off for that part of the world.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I was
know.
like, Pawpaw.
I thought when it started that it was a period piece.
Yeah.
Because the way it was, I thought it was
Until
like
you
a
saw the
90s.
YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely thought it was in the 90s. Even the NASCAR jacket.
Yes.
What's up with that?
Oh.
NASCAR.
allow it.
Dude acted his ass off, though. Whether you like this movie or not.
Yeah.
I mean, we ain't ever seen him play a role like that.
No.
Role of a lifetime.
It was I did enjoy it. His performance was ridiculous. Like
Ridiculous.
yeah.
Definitely taking steroids to get that pumped right.
I mean,
I don't think his muscles had
mean-
muscles.
yeah. He looked good.
I mean,
this
imagine.
was 2022
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
Like,
this was a minute ago.
yeah.
Well, imagine had it came out despite his controversy.
Mhm.
Well, the roids rage would have made sense.
Yeah.
Because y'all know that's what he had. A little
Yes,
tism,
yeah.
but a little roid rage.
Yeah.
And they called that dude, the Chad guy, he was Brad. I
Yeah.
thought that was funny. I mean, judging on his bedroom and the posters that he had up, I would have thought he'd have been all right with hooking up with Brad. Had a
Well-
lot of dudes hanging up in his room.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just like,
I mean,
look,
it wasn't subtle.
my grandpa would say something about that. Got a lot of
Yes.
dudes hanging up in here, you know?
Yes.
I really look up to him.
I bet. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Make eye contact.
I was really expecting them to go into the mental health stuff.
Yeah, a little more.
Yeah, like for real. Because I mean, he definitely had.
Mm.
He was definitely somewhat
sheltered.
autistic, right? Yeah. Well, yeah.
No
But-
friends, like,
Yeah.
and really was socially awkward. I mean, he was
Yes,
just
very.
obsessed.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it's like, bro,
that's-
just be a person a little bit. Like,
And that's the thing. He kind of like a lot of other films. It begs the question: how far is too far with your obsessions?
well, I was like, dude, once the guys beat him up and he went to, I'm like, don't go to the thing. You're going to be all
Yeah.
over. Like, this is going to be bad. But he went anyway. Read the room, you know? When you walk in,
Yeah.
everybody goes,
Yeah.
but I'm like, bro could be like one hell of a bouncer.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, you can make
right?
a name.
Yeah.
He just wanted to be famous. And he picked
Yeah.
that lane. He was like, this is what I'm going to be famous for.
And at first I was like, I was. Well, the movie kind of jerks you around at first as to what kind of movie it's gonna be.
Oh, yeah. It takes a
Yeah.
dark turn later on.
Well, because at first I was thinking to myself, okay, this is just gonna be almost like a Breaking Bad kind of movie, because right off the bat, one of the things he says is he's like, man, I gotta go really far out of my way just to get groceries.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, bad part of town, purposely designed. Okay, I'm picking up the racial stuff, which they still stuck with it off and on throughout the film.
Yeah, the news in the background,
Yeah,
the cops. But also, he was going to that grocery store, which is where he worked at, right?
Yes.
And he was buying groceries there because the chick worked there.
Yeah.
Why not just buy groceries when you get off clock out? Well, he wanted to see the chick, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think they had purposely put her on days that he wasn't there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe because he was staring at her. In his NASCAR jacket.
Yeah.
I wonder, that was probably
Looking
Papa's
fly.
jacket. That was a cool
Yeah.
jacket. I mean, I was like, what? The cigarette miles are you wearing?
Yeah. Yeah. I was honestly surprised though that they didn't lean as much into the racial issues. I was expecting it to lean into that and stay heavy into that tone.
I was thinking that it was gonna do that, but I feel they replaced it with the sexual confusion, I
Yes.
guess, for lack of a better word, because even though because dude wasn't really gay.
No. Because he was
didn't know what he
attracted to
was.
the girl. He was
Yeah.
watching porn. Clearly had chicks in the porn. It said women moaning on the
Yeah.
subtitles. I don't know if you had those turned on. But he leaned into it.
Yeah.
It's almost like he had this thing
It's
he
almost
was
like he was-
carrying around. Like people was treating him different because he was black. Like,
Yeah, it was
oh, I was like, did I go fucking?
no.
Oh
There's
no, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to cut anybody off.
but yeah, I mean, obsession. Just I would have liked to. I love the movie. I think it was great. Incredible performance by Jonathan Majors. I wish that they would have went a little bit more into the mom and dad situation as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think that
Well, I think that all kind of, yeah. I guess we could group that into the mental health, just
yes,
just a slow deterioration of this man's mind, not just as we witness it through the runtime, but clearly all the off screen.
yeah,
Well, and every time he would upload something to YouTube, whoa, brutal.
yeah,
People are fucking, and they're really like that.
Yeah.
Whenever I see comments like that, I'm like, wow, why did you take the time out to, he's like,
Yeah.
all jokes aside, this dude hasn't killed himself yet. And it's like, God damn,
Yeah.
dude. Like,
I know.
whoa. And then he's just
It's
looking at it.
wild.
And then when he saw the video of him passing out, he was just like, fuck it.
Yeah,
But it, it got kind of weird going there. Like, I kind of wanted him to shoot the guy.
Yeah.
Because it was almost like it would have been a win, but not really.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because he would have probably been shot or shot himself. Like, but whenever the whole time, he was like, he never had his parents love, dad never proud of him. Was beating on his mom, shot her, shot himself. That's what happened, right?
Yeah.
But when he had that scene at the end where he thought about killing the guy, and then he's like, all the shit flashed before his eyes, his parents, and then he saw his papa.
Yeah.
And he was like, that's what matters.
Yeah.
Like he said, he was like, I'm leaving. I'm going to make you proud of me. He was like, I'm already proud of you.
Yeah.
And when he saw him, he was like that, you know, like if I'm not going to be, who's going to take care of him?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's what I'm kind of here for right now.
No, that was one thing I did like is that they were not the whole thing that plays out at the end. It wasn't done as a did he, didn't he? Like choose your own ending.
Yeah.
I'm glad they went with the hard, like he chose not to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he saw his granddad looking at him. That was the last thing he saw when he changed his mind. Like you know, he's proud of you. Now, if you do this, he's going to be, you know, like, yeah, people are going to remember you, but he's going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
And you're kind of leaving him hanging. Like, who's going to take care of him? I mean, he needs another coat of paint.
Yeah.
You know? But when he went down there and tore that shop up, I was like, yeah, that's going to come back to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh, and the sequences with his grandfather were downright pitiful and depressing.
It was.
Like he go in there and he sees him taking his medicine, or just time's crueler to you than anything else will be and ever will be.
Yeah.
I will never hear Because of the Night and not think of that scene where he went over there and turned that stereo up.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I thought he was going to kill that guy, but it was almost like better they didn't.
Yes.
I was like, yeah, dude, let that guy live with that.
It was more disturbing that he didn't.
It was like, look at him.
Yeah.
This guy's telling you, what was it? His deltoids?
Yeah.
Think my deltoids
Deltoids
are
are
small.
small. Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what the fuck those are.
Yeah.
But all too common. These types of movies try to go the psychological route where it's like, well, so and so could have did it or he couldn't have, and we left it up to the audience. I'm like, that's lazy filmmaking, really.
Yeah, give us an ending.
Right.
It kind of is a cop out when it's like, whatever you wanted to happen, happen. It's like, nah, come on, wrap it up, put a bow on it.
It's got to be very well written.
Oh yeah. Now that can happen.
Now I would like to see Majors. I would like to see him in a movie, kind of like Falling Down.
Yeah.
It almost reminded me of that, like when he broke bad, kind of.
Yeah, like
it really reminded me of that.
I could see him in a movie like that where he's very much like no racial bullshit, though I'm sure you could make it racially charged or have it to where it's him getting back at the man, be it white or government or whatever. But just a movie where he just snaps, like just a common man collapse,
Yeah.
And I was like, I'd like to see that movie because the sequences of him just fucking pop shotting into the dirt, fucking getting all of that was like, and more so the director and cinematographer could pull a movie like that off,
Yeah.
Because those sequences are like the gun assembly, like I said, just the build up to you being like, yep. This is where we're at now. Like it's the radicalization era. And what's crazy is he was kind of normal for a minute there when he was losing his shit like that.
Well, he quit obsessing over the dream, the magazine dream.
Yeah.
He just wanted to be famous so bad. And, he told that chick, do you ever feel like a nobody? Like people just walk past you and it's like, yeah, dude, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like you're caught. Well, you have to think about this too. Like he's cooped up, he's online. Like the only thing he knows is famous people.
Yeah.
You know, the tapes, he's watching the tape, dude. He knew, and it was like 1993, Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
And he's like sitting there mouthing the words to it. And it's like, bro, you watch that too much. He was like, oh, I love Thursdays. That's when SmackDown comes on. Like,
well, being sold the lie that all you got to do is just go do it.
Yeah.
And you'll get it. And there's so much more to that sentence than that, you know?
Yeah.
Well, when you see him up there with those bodybuilders, like, it ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
He doesn't have like his legs, like it's not happening.
Well, the sad truth that sometimes not good enough. And you got to be okay with not being enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you kind of like, you're hoping that he recognizes that term, because it's like when he's talking to the chick and he's like, I came in sixth, and
better than
she's
seventh.
like, yeah, exactly. Right. And, you know, the dedication and the drive, but it's just him not really understanding that, you know, once you reach a limit, once you reach what you're capable of.
Well, you're taking drugs.
Yes.
You're taking steroids and cocaine.
Yeah.
Was that what he was doing? Cocaine, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I don't think there's anything else you can snort that. So you're doing drugs to get bigger, and it's not working. But also your liver's failing. Like, you're dying. You're killing yourself. When the guy was like, this guy hadn't killed himself yet, it's like, he is. He's killing himself.
Yeah.
And when he told the doctor, no scars. I'm going to be on a magazine.
Yeah.
I'm a bodybuilder. And it was like, bro. What happens with that?
Yeah.
I wondered that when it went off, because it's like, I mean, does he get help? I guess. Is it too late?
Yeah.
I mean, he was having like heart attacks.
Well, it's like, his obsession was so crazy. He completely didn't acknowledge all the things that could have kept him in that world, and he be proficient at it and still make a name for himself.
He could have been a judge.
Rather than,
he knew so much about it.
Imagine him judging instead of the fucking
that
other
shape
dude.
guy that was balding and.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy could have been a judge. Those people make it somewhere, you know. Like, I mean.
Yeah.
He was just so caught up in it, obsessed much.
Yeah.
When he was laying out all that stuff, talking, this is a 24/7 job, you know, this, that, and that chick was just sitting there looking at him like, yeah, you're not going to have time for me.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I kind of knew you. I mean, I just, you know, just talking at the register a little bit, like,
yeah.
What? And whenever he was ordering all that food, did that make her like feel bad? Cause she like wasn't super skinny. Cause she was just like, I'll take a shrimp salad. I mean, and then she was like, how can you eat all that? And he's like, oh, I can eat. Oh, that's nothing. You know, and he looks like that. It's like, cause he's burning all the damn calories. Like,
yeah.
But he was also, but didn't they more or less allude to the idea that he was doing anorexic?
Well, he was doing that when he ate the stuff that he shouldn't have. Like, he was eating the hamburger, the ice cream. I mean, he had a lot of that, because all that shit he ordered was protein.
Yeah.
A steak, you know, was a salmon. Yeah. All that stuff is fine, but then he had the damn hamburger, and he had fucking onion rings.
Yeah.
And all that shit. He was throwing that up.
I don't know, man. It's easy to get into that obsessive minds, you know, that state of mind whenever you are trying to achieve a goal, but it's interesting to watch from something that you're not familiar with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but his goal was all it wasn't to be healthy.
Yeah, right.
It was to be famous.
Yeah.
There is an obsession with fame.
Yeah.
Well, there's an obsession with body image.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's that's a old, age-old obsession, and it documents that
mirrors.
it's not right. Me too. But I mean, you remember seeing the stuff with models, like women models.
Yeah, and like Instagram models now, like
yeah,
that's a big
Well,
thing.
This movie, it you don't really think about how that plays into the male perspective.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
It's certainly there, but it's not as looked at. Well, I guess it's because, and maybe it's just because we are men, or at least we're cis straight men according to the current vernacular. There's not the level of objectification is more prominent in females than it is males. I'm sure there's an argument there, but I think for the most part, the female form is more more, you can admire it more. Not just from dudes, but women as well.
Well, then they're real hard on each other. With the
yeah. Well, I feel like it all like kind of roots down into like what is beauty and all those types of things and what have you, and I think society tends to gravitate it towards women than men, but like I said, this movie highlights that there's definitely room for everybody in the shit house of obsession,
Yeah.
Yeah, when he lost his job, I was like, fucking Chippendales it is. I mean,
for real, right?
Make more money. He's like, I fucking lend you my image.
Yeah.
My likeness. And the dude was like, whoa, what?
They're like, you're fucking what?
Nobody knows who the fuck you are, man. I thought he was going to kill him when he said it. But he was like, you be real careful.
I was like, there's Kang.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
He did a hell of an acting job, man. I've just never seen him. He kind of channeled, something different.
Yeah.
Kind of a shy, crazy person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little crazy.
It's not just that. It's not necessarily crazy. He's crazy. Dude could have been on some heavy sedatives.
But you know what he could have done? And this is where I thought it was going to go. Like he had all that flash and I'm like, bro, you got a book here.
Yeah.
You're now you're internet famous for falling down during the thing, So I thought there was going to be like, he was going to make this movie about him, like a book because he had this no one, there may be people that know that Brad's like this, but he could have outed that dude. Like he used me as a fan, like have this book like.
That would have been an interesting spin.
Yeah, my dad killed my mom. I didn't really have any parental guidance, so I looked up to this person, spent my whole life trying to be them, met them, and he fucked me.
Yeah.
I mean, he even left a voicemail and was like, I'm going to kill somebody and kill myself. And the dude still didn't call back.
Yeah, like, I mean...
What a piece of shit.
I mean, dude, he was a Dido song waiting to happen.
Dude, dear Brad, I wrote, but you still ain't calling.
Yeah, right.
That's what I kept thinking. I was like, oh, he's writing letters. I'm your biggest fan.
Yeah.
He was a stan. That song should have been at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
It was a lot better than The Fanatic.
Yeah.
This should have been The Fanatic.
But yeah, I guess I'll throw my rating with it. I mean, despite the stuff that that we brought up in the talking points, at the end of the day, Majors acted his ass off.
Wow.
That I can 100% get behind and agree with anyone's argument here. But maybe it's because it's just not my kind of movie. But it wasn't the worst movie and it wasn't the best movie. So from my camp, I'm giving it a half.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a I'm gonna have to give it a full star. I mean, just his performance and seeing stuff like this is very, I don't know, it's just, I don't know much about that world. And then seeing someone engrossed in that world and pushing themselves to that much of an extreme to be able to complete a goal, I guess. Even though it's like you're killing yourself in the process. It's very fascinating. Very fascinating. I'm going to give it a full star. I really enjoyed it.
I knew somebody, one of my mom's friends, when I was a kid, her husband was into bodybuilding.
Mm-hmm.
He also like watched wrestling, by all that shit. He was just, and he had those bodybuilding magazines always around. And I always I thought he was gay.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I just was like, why is he looking at those books of those muscly, it was just,
Yeah.
it was weird. But he was into that bodybuilding shit. And he knew him by name. Like, this is so-and-so, fucking 2-time, and I'm like, 2-time champion and what? Fucking muscles?
Right.
What's happening? Like, you can be famous for that? But I'm gonna give it a star. And I was really surprised that the ending didn't go the way that it was going.
Yeah.
Because when he walked out and shot the guy, I was like, oh, okay, here it is. Is he going to shoot the crowd? Like, what did we?
Yeah.
Like, you're definitely going to be remembered for this. You took out, all-time Mr. Olympia 1993.
Yep.
And then it was like, nope, throwing the guns away, which probably not a good idea. Just throw a bag of guns out by the train tracks,
Yeah.
And then he just went home to his granddad.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised that it took that turn, that ending. I was like, okay, we're not going the other way. We're bringing our shit back together. Maybe it's because you stopped taking steroids, motherfucker,
Yeah, right.
Because that shit will give you roid rage.
Yeah.
Which he definitely had. I'm going to crush your skull and drink it like a fucking bowl of soup.
Yeah.
So I was really surprised at that ending. And it felt like he realized what mattered the most in his life.
Yeah.
And the person was proud. He had made a difference, and taking care of his grandfather. Because that whole time I was like, dude, and I think his granddad knew. You think he saw the bedroom?
Oh, I'm sure.
Because when he came home, the way he was looking at him was like, you good?
Yeah.
And it was probably one of those things where he probably never got a lot of hugs or cried a lot.
Yeah.
In front of the old man, he's a Vietnam veteran. He stormed the jungles of Vietnam. I was like, it was normally the beaches of Normandy, but okay. He stormed the jungles. But I was really surprised at that ending.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So I'm going to give it a star.
It was
And
great.
he will not, I probably won't get acknowledgement for the amazing acting job he did, but we'll give it to him.
Oh yeah.
Agreed.
Uh,
Something I wanted to
agreed.
point out that you were saying when he threw those guns, he not only just threw a bag of guns, he threw them out in a town that clearly has a penchant for hate crimes.
Yeah.
Yes. The amount of stuff that he didn't get arrested for was mind blowing. Like he didn't get arrested for destroying that business. Like
Because they
messing the
came and
business
whipped his
up.
ass.
Yeah, I know.
That's why
but,
they
like,
call it in.
Yeah,
I kept waiting for that to happen.
yeah,
When he got that phone call and handed it to his grandfather,
yeah,
he was like, "Ain't calling for me." I was like, "Oh, it's about that building."
yeah,
And you know there was footage.
for sure.
I mean, they just wanted to whip his ass.
Yeah,
On the fucking day that he was going to the thing,
of course.
I think it kind of helped him.
Yeah,
If all of that hadn't have happened, he would have been on the same. He had to get his ass kicked. You know, sometimes in life you just need your ass kicked once
yeah,
to get you out of your shit. You know, he got his. It got him back on a different path. It was almost a dark path, dark passenger,
yeah. Right.
but he brought it back around. I hope he got help for his medical problems and wrote a book.
Yeah, for real. We got a little bit of movie news here. I'm gonna head on real quick now. So one of H.P. Lovecraft's most important stories is being adapted for the big screen again. A new adaptation of Herbert West, Reanimator, the 1922 short story that inspired the 85 horror comedy Reanimator, is in the works. The film will give modern audiences a new chance to witness the sick mind of West, the scientist who develops a serum that can bring corpses back to life. Herbert West Reanimator was one of the first literary works to include zombies as reanimated corpses with uncontrollable urges. As reported by Deadline, screenwriters Adam Simon and Tim Metcalf of The Haunting in Connecticut fame will write the script for the new project. They'll reunite with executive producer Andrew Trapani, who worked with them on The Haunting in Connecticut and also produced the horror film Winchester. A director is yet to be announced. I mean, what do you think about Reanimator getting remade?
I feel like it's a waste of time, honestly.
it's-
And the only reason I say it is because it would diminish what made the first Reanimator so innovative for its existence, you know?
Yeah.
Because now it's just gonna be oh man, scientist reanimates corpses film. It wasn't, it's not gonna have that tack along of, man, this movie pulled this shit off at this, and because we're in this weird phase of movies where we all still can turn the brain off for the modern film,
Yeah.
but there's this nostalgic, respect now that's like someone younger than us can watch a movie like Reanimator, and whereas for us and a lot of other people, they're like, ew, what is this old shit?
Yeah.
When we were a lot younger, there's now the appreciation for these kind of films is starting to hit in the earlier ages again, like
Yeah.
and I think, I don't know, I just feel like it's a waste of what could go towards something. If you want to do something like Reanimator, make it have some sort of new innovation. Don't let it just be a modern movie with a Reanimator skin.
Right.
Well, somebody remade it in 2017. There was a version that was out.
Yeah. Low budget.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing about the original, it's kind of like Dead Alive, right? And Evil Dead. You know, it's a horror comedy, really hard to pull off.
They're not going to
It,
capture
no.
the
And
look, everything about it. Like,
yeah. And are they going to lean into the horror comedy aspect of it? Or are they just going to go straight horror? Is it going to be like more Cronenberg esque body horror type stuff? Like, what route are they going to take with it? And it's just not going to be like Trav was saying, it's not going to be able to capture what made the movie special. It may be a better, more faithful adaptation of the story, but you know, we'll see.
There's
I'll
just a
watch it.
charm. There's just a charm to those older movies,
Yeah.
oh,
and
that 80s
that
look, that
yeah, and it gets kind of kicked to the wayside in terms of a modern like coat of paint slapped on it.
Yeah. But this makes sense. I mean, they're remaking. What would you rather? Okay, this is going to be my question here. Would you rather them do a complete like reboot or retelling of the source material, which is the short story, or do a legacy sequel to the original?
Do a legacy sequel to the original.
Where somebody finds the serum and they are re-engineering it so that it can
yeah,
be better.
do that.
And yeah,
That's
okay,
kind of what we've been doing, with some stuff over the last few years. Like,
yeah,
let's just do a legacy sequel. That way, it's like you just kind of build on it, a little bit of the same world. But I've never seen the short. I mean, if someone was going to do, then it's like it's not really a remake; it's a whole new.
right. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at that. I can't even remember. I'm sure the guy that played Herbert West is still alive, right?
Yeah,
So they could bring him back. Yeah, Jeffrey Combs.
because
Yeah,
like when
he's
you scroll
70.
down in that article, that picture of him with the syringe
Yes.
with that fucking glowing green. I mean, you just can't recapture this.
No.
But bringing him back, almost 40 years later, like it's
Yeah.
happening again.
Yeah, let's do
And
it.
he's the only one that knows, that's what they should do. Did it say what studio's doing it?
Let's see. It says Woodlake Entertainment is on board as a production studio.
I see that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we've got Reanimator to look forward to. So,
It looks like it might be another low budget.
yeah.
It's got that Borderland in 2007. Never heard of it.
Next up here, Barbarian director's new movie is disturbing the internet with 2-hour viral marketing video. I thought this was kind of interesting. So, we're a little over 3 months away from the release of Zach Kreger's Weapons, and though little is known about the movie at this point, other than that it deals with missing children, Warner Brothers is ratcheting up its marketing campaign in new and creative ways. Case in point, a 2-hour surveillance video that was posted to YouTube yesterday that's labeled as unlisted, meaning it's hard to find unless you know what you're looking for. Warner Brothers posted the surveillance video a day ago on their YouTube channel, and thus far it has amassed 15,000 views. There's nothing really that's striking about the footage other than that it shows several different children emerging from their homes in the middle of the night. That tracks with what little we do know about Weapons, which revolves around multi-related plots marked by the disappearance of school kids at exactly 2:17 a.m. The only other thing of note in the footage is that at the 2:14:17 mark, You can see what appears to be a man's face reflected in the screen as he watches the video. It may or may not be Josh Brolin, who stars in the film as Archer Graff, the father of one of the missing children. In addition to Brolin, Weapons also stars Julia Garner, Alden Ehrenreich, Austin Adams, Carrie Christopher, Benedict Wong, and Amy Madigan. Though it is yet to be confirmed, it's said to take place in the same universe as Kreger's 2022 hit Barbarian, but just how much of the two films overlap is anyone's guess at this point. For those curious, you can check out the 2-hour surveillance video posted to the Warner Brothers YouTube channel here.
So I've been skimming through that footage. You can see his face almost throughout the entire time. He's sitting there watching. It is Josh Brolin. It looks like him.
Right.
But he's watching the surveillance footage like on a computer or something. Like he's skimming through it. But like as you skip through, you can see him. Like,
yeah.
I mean, quite a bit.
Right.
It ain't that just at the end. So they clearly didn't watch it. I have this trailer in the trailers, by the way. I didn't realize who directed it.
Oh, that's cool. I'm excited to peep the that's crazy though. They uploaded an unlisted video and yeah. I'm excited to check this out.
Viral marketing.
Yeah.
So he probably shared it on something somewhere, and then it was like, if you know, you know.
Right.
It's like maybe it shouldn't be unlisted.
Yeah, right.
It's only got 29,000 views.
Yeah. But yeah.
It does look creepy.
It does. And I'm excited to peep the trailer. It's going to be good. So Guy Ritchie mixes Indiana Jones and National Treasure with John Krasinski in a new streaming film. So attention history buffs and people who long for the time of movie stars uncovering centuries-old secrets. The next big blockbuster history-focused adventure is just around the corner. Fountain of Youth, starring John Krasinski, Natalie Portman, Isa Gonzalez from Three Body Problem, and Domhnall Gleeson, is Apple TV Plus's upcoming action adventure film. With director Guy Ritchie still riding out the streaming success of Mobland, it seems like Fountain of Youth might just be the next big National Treasure Indiana Jones style film. Latest trailer sure does prove its ability to bring back the gone but not forgotten genre. Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare and the Gentleman Director is teaming up with Apple TV Plus to usher viewers into the summer of 2025 with the at-home treasure hunt film premiering May the 23rd only on Apple TV Plus. The second trailer hits every treasure adventure film beat, including art heist, risky plans, and unlimited action. With 5 continents, thousands of years of history, and one story on screen. On-screen siblings Krasinski and Portman have their work cut out for them.
Bro, we watched this trailer when we did The Monkey.
Yeah.
And I literally said, we were sitting there watching it, and I was like, it's National Treasure. Because it looked just like it.
Right.
And then I went, he could play Indiana Jones.
Seriously.
We had a conversation like he'd be a damn good Indiana Jones. Like, and I'm down for that. Because it has heavy Indiana Jones vibes.
Right.
Just seeing him, he kind of had he had a satchel. You know, was kind of dressed like Brendan Fraser, the Mummy.
Right.
But I can see him in the hat, man. John Krasinski.
Yeah.
A young Indiana Jones.
Still. Yeah.
Better than Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, that's true. Is the Guy Ritchie wit in there, sprinkled in there as well?
It was just showing a lot of they're all over the place. That's why I said National Treasure, because we're at the Vatican, we're at this.
Yeah.
We're going in here. And the guy's like, we're looking for the Fountain of Youth. And it's just like money. That's what it looks like. Money.
Yeah, right.
A lot of money.
Apple TV Plus money.
And then he calls his sister, and she's like, there must be a problem. And he's like, why is that? And she's like, because that's the only time you call.
Mm-hmm. Of
And it's
course. Of course.
big money though. I'll
Okay.
peep it.
Okay. I'm excited.
I didn't
I
realize that
haven't
Guy
wa-
Ritchie was doing it.
right. I haven't watched Mobland either.
I've been watching Mobland.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's a mob movie set in the UK.
Okay. It's got Tom Hardy, Pierce Brosnan,
Yep.
Helen Mirren.
And she is, like a problem.
Okay.
She's just stirring all the shit up.
She's a line stepper.
Yeah.
She's a habitual line stepper.
Well, it's like the families, the Harrington family, the fucking,
Yeah.
you know, and they're like, oh, they fucking, I'm not going to repeat some of the stuff they said, but the families just hate each other. It's territory. Like, they're killing people. Tom Hardy's kind of like Ray Donovan. He's like a fixer for the family.
Yeah.
He's constantly cleaning shit up. He goes home, tries to go to bed. Somebody calls. Fucking buddy did it, you know? It's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, fucking back out there. I also watched his movie Havoc.
How's
That
that?
dropped on Netflix. That's the guy that did The Raid.
Yes.
And you can tell when they start fighting, it's like, yep,
Yeah.
this is the Raid guy. Several times I just remember being like, I don't know who's shooting at who here.
Yeah.
Because it was just so much. Like, the movie was meh.
Okay. So was this a U.S.? Was this Korean? Or
What
where's-
show?
You said it was the guy that
The
did
guy
the
that
Raid
directed The
Havoc.
Raid? Oh, it's a U.S. movie.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. It's it made it look like some fictional U.S. city. Kind of looks like New York, but I think
Yeah.
they shot it in like Wales. Because when I looked it up, I was like, "What the fuck is this, New York?" And it was they shot it in Wales, but everyone
Wales.
speaks English. But
Yeah.
they're like, he's a cop, and there's like
Yeah.
they're fighting the Chinese.
Right.
Something happens,
Of course.
you know.
Fighting the Chinese.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cantonese.
Yeah.
But it had some fighting. Like there's the house scene. The final scene in the house was the best, like all out, because they were beating the shit out of him. He was beating the shit out of them, like, and killing people in crazy ways. Like,
Yeah. Right.
a lot of blood.
That's awesome, though. Havoc.
Yeah, it just dropped a few days ago on Netflix.
I might have
We
to
watched the
check that
trailer
out.
for it,
Yeah.
but it's been a while.
Yeah. So next up here, federal judge seals the fate of James Gunn's Superman after legal battle. So we know every time that they try to do something Superman related, there's always the family sues and it's a whole situation. So a recent lawsuit put the film's release in select countries, including the UK and Canada, into question. Those are major markets where having a theatrical run is vital to the DCU project's box office prospects. Fortunately for Warner Brothers, a judge has ruled in their favor and sealed the fate of James Gunn's DC superhero film. As reported by Bloomberg, a federal judge has dismissed the case between Warner Brothers and Warren Perry, the nephew of Superman co-creator Joseph Schuster. The estate of the late Schuster alleged that the studio did not have the rights to release the film in select territories due to an apparent lack of foreign copyright to the original comic book storyline. With the ruling, Superman will be able to be released in theaters without a hitch in key markets such as the UK, Canada, Ireland, and Australia. Suffice it to say, the Kryptonian hero won't have to resort to staying in his fortress of solitude. It was always doubtful any kind of outcome would find Warner Brothers not being able to release their most highly anticipated project. After a Minecraft movie and Sinners broke box office records, all eyes are on Superman to continue the hot streak for the studio. Warner Brothers famously decided to bank most of their 2025 theatrical slate on big budget, auteur-driven projects from filmmakers like Bong Joon-ho and Paul Thomas Anderson. At first, things were looking dicey for the studio, whose execs were facing scrutiny and trade headlines over the first quarter of the year. However, their decisions have paid off as of late, and Superman is in good shape to jumpstart the rebooted DC universe with a big boom.
A sonic boom.
Yeah, right. So yeah, it's gonna be world release.
Dude, those fucking lawyers left that courtroom and said better.
Yes, yeah, right.
Also, every time they've done a movie, they've got big payouts. And finally, a judge was like, "Fuck off, okay?"
Yeah,
like,
for real, right?
You've made fucking $600 million over the year, or however much. It's a crazy amount of money. It's like, dude, you can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
And it may be so different from the original material that they're like, oh, well, they probably laid out, they had their fucking ducks in a row.
Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy that every time, because I remember Man of Steel was the same way. It was just every single time Superman gets like the reboot treatment or whatever, it's like, here comes the family,
Yeah.
So, but I'm excited to see this.
Oh, yeah. Did you finally watch the 4 minutes?
No.
Just wait.
I know.
It's already. It comes out like next week.
Does it?
No, but it'll be before you know.
Comes out in July, right?
Yeah.
The end of June. Yeah. Definitely going to the theaters to see it. But last up here, Brad Pitt and David Fincher's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel gets intriguing title and plot details. So sometimes news about anticipated films comes from the most unexpected of places. One incredibly exciting project that has recently gone into development is a sequel to Tarantino's 2019 film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. In a surprising turn of events, David Fincher signed on to helm the project, and his first look deal with Netflix means the film will go to the streaming-based studio in another twist of fate. Initial reports suggest that the road to getting this film produced is complicated, but it's still exciting nonetheless to see a Tarantino script in the hands of another accomplished filmmaker. Now, a Deadline Q&A with Sinners star Michael B. Jordan has inadvertently revealed plenty of new details about the project. In Deadline's exclusive piece, the moderator of the Q&A highlighted the rich mythology of Tarantino films and how the depth of his characters invites potential spin-offs, similar to the well-written and engaging characters in Sinners. When doing so, they provided an incredibly detailed example in the form of David Fincher's sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Not only would plot details be revealed, but also the most likely working title for the film. Quentin Tarantino, this is a quote, Quentin Tarantino creates these characters and mythologies so rich, they beg for sequels he never had time to make. He was going to revive Brad Pitt's stuntman character from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Quentin decided to do something else for his final film. Now David Fincher will direct Pitt for Netflix. What I've heard is called the Continuing Adventures of Cliff Booth, where the stuntman becomes a Hollywood studio fixer. I mean,
I like that.
Yeah. I'm interested. I mean, because the first Tarantino script was True Romance, right?
Yep.
And that wasn't directed by Tarantino. And then ever since then, everything that he's written, at least as far as I know, has been directed by him. I love David Fincher.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how this plays out.
Well, did it say that I was putting those? Is he writing?
Yeah, apparently he wrote it.
So he had some shit prepared.
Yeah.
Okay. See, that's the thing is Tarantino's saying he's going to get out of fucking making movies. It's like, but is he, yeah, because this could still happen. He'll be writing shit because he's not going to stop writing.
Oh, no, not
and
at
it
all.
may get chopped off. I mean, he's just tired of making movies. That's a fucking tough job.
Yeah.
I get it. He's got a kid now. Right. He's trying to, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, the editing process is longer than filming it.
Right. But yeah, it's going to come straight to Netflix. I thought, because whenever I first started seeing reports about this, like a couple of
Yeah.
weeks ago, I thought it
Around
was going to
April
be a
Fools.
series. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, if it's going to be a film, that's fine. Whatever. It
Sure.
doesn't matter. Like the character's going to be great. I think Fincher's going to do a good job. And I'm sure Tarantino's going to show up and be like, okay, you're doing this all
Yeah.
wrong. You know? Yeah.
He's like, because I'm about the good shit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Right. This is some of that serious gourmet shit.
It's about the fucking good shit.
Yeah.
I can picture that happening.
I'm excited to see to see this character brought back because it was great.
Yeah.
I want more.
Well, like other than just having the name and the character, it's kind of
Yeah,
it'll kind of be its own thing. Like it makes sense that he kind of was a fixer.
yeah, he was.
I mean,
but yeah, that's all the movie news that I had for this week.
I mean, what's his DiCaprio could even show up.
Yeah,
Like
Rick
a
fucking
cameo.
Dalton. Yeah.
Depends on the time period.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I can't wait for it. For show. But yeah, I'm ready for a couple trailers we got here.
Well, first we got a documentary
Okay,
that I think Pee Wee Herman made before he died.
this is gonna be sad.
I think it was like he knew he was gonna die.
Yeah.
So it was set to come out.
Ah, okay.
And this is like the way that I took it from the trailer, like, so Pee Wee Herman kind of always had to uphold that character,
Yeah.
you know, Paul as Pee Wee Herman, and like he never could like be himself, kind of.
Yeah.
Because when you would see him in movie roles, like in fucking Blow,
Yeah,
it's like, that's fucking Pee Wee Herman.
Right.
That's Spleen. But he talks about that, like,
Okay.
now he can tell people who he was, and he will always be Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
Morpheus. Cowboy Wayne.
Yeah.
What was he? Was he Cowboy Wayne too?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I remember this. It was Cowboy Curtis. Cowboy Wayne was from.
Yeah. Saving Silver.
Yeah, that's why I was like, were they both Cowboy Wayne? Beijing Pee Wee Herman. Usually they make the documentaries after they're dead.
Yeah.
It's weird that he got to. I'll never hear tequila.
Yeah, right.
Enormous amounts of drugs. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. But I'll never hear that song and not picture him on that bar.
Yeah, right.
We got a little John Cena, Idris Elba action.
Okay.
John Cena's the president.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And he's like a former action star turned president. Like, yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
The guy that did Nobody.
Yeah. It looks like a goofy good time. I gotta
Planet
add.
Fitness.
Yeah, me too.
Oh. 2 ads. Bicycle. Kevin Spacey.
Okay. Is he spacing out?
Cowboy. It's the new guy. Even you can book Kevin Spacey now, you know?
Yeah.
Kaiser Sose.
Yeah. Looks interesting.
They finally made another one.
Is this a
This
magic?
name.
Is this what?
Now You See Me.
Yeah. The
Is this
Magic movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
mean, it's
Woody's
gotta
back.
been a while, right? Like 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the graphics got better.
Yeah.
It's like Ocean's 11 with magic.
Yeah.
One trick to rule them all. I think that was that guy's name, Brad Vanderberg. This looks pretty bad.
Yeah.
Diamonds are forever. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this is going to do well in the theaters. Mm. Is that the third one?
Third or fourth one. I don't know
Mm.
how many that.
All right, now we got weapons.
That movie look like shit.
Yeah. Get too old for this shit, Riggs. Damn it, Gandhi. Run off.
I don't know I don't know how much longer this barbarian cred can last, guys.
Well, this might be it here if this doesn't go over well.
Well, that's creepy.
Hmm.
It looks good.
I'm definitely down to watch it.
Yeah.
I'm getting burnt out on from the producers of Barbarian, from the director of Barbarian, from the studio that brought you Barbarian.
From the Barbarian of Barbarian. This is that Rock movie
Okay.
where he like doesn't look like the Rock. No ads.
No.
Whoa.
Batista was busy.
Yeah. Say Safdie? Is it one of the Safdie brothers?
I think so. I think.
Oh yeah. He did it his way. I don't think I've ever seen The Rock do a serious, like a,
Yeah.
man, he really looks different.
Yeah.
It's the forehead. Oh, wait, he wins an Oscar, right?
It looks good though.
Oh my God.
Predator.
Oh, have you
Bad.
watched this?
Yeah, I have.
I haven't. I'll wait for the pod.
I watched the dude from Kubla Khan react to it. So that's how I watched it.
That's a weird fucking video.
Yes. It's a bear owl. Elbow. What is it?
Owlbear.
So it's entirely through the perspective of the predator.
Is that a predator though?
Yeah.
Or is that like a genetic?
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. There's a lot of weird theories that I've been seeing about that.
I know people
is
were
it
like,
a-
why does it look like that? It's like, well,
Yeah.
it's like a prequel. It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a fucking T-Rex skull there, so.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And the skull from Independence Day. What?
I know,
Oh,
right?
that's cool. Next, he's got to fight Will Smith. Fucking jacket's fucking smooth.
I know. I wish I had that
Look at
jacket.
this guy, the cool uncle. Ecstatic. What the fuck? Oh shit. What do you do if that happens? You leave.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Is this in the 90s?
I don't know
The way
what's
they're
happening.
dressed. That dude fucks.
Mm-hmm.
Just when you think it's over. What a man, we've seen some wild trailers, but that one was pretty wild.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Well, then, you know, they cut it to that music and stuff, and it's like when you watch the movie, it's not gonna be anything like that.
Yeah, right.
Oh, how do you guys feel about Death of a Unicorn?
Oh yeah, I'm down.
I mean,
Works for me.
Death of a Unicorn it is. I'm excited to see it. I might hold off and wait till closer to the podcast time.
Oh,
I was watching
down.
it during the podcast. No. All right, checks in the
Got
mail.
it on the background.
And the
I did.
flag is raised.